Welcome to another episode of Pursuing Wisdom. My name is Robert Davis, and today we're going to see if women pastors are unscriptural. It's the 21st century, and we're still having this age-old debate. One side says women cannot preach, and the other claims the opposite. Who's right? From a purely biblical standpoint, the Bible is clear, or is it? Ideally, you would think everyone would be equal within the church, but sadly, it is not. Is the Lord guilty of being sexist? The book of Genesis, chapter 1 states, "In the beginning, God created both genders as equals. He made male and female in his image and gave both dominion over his creation equally." If that's how the Lord created us, what's the problem? The garden story with Adam and Eve changed everything. Suddenly, women need to be submissive to men. Even after the work of Christ on the cross, women cannot be equal in the church. Females are not allowed to teach or pastor congregations over men. It seems unduly harsh, but scripture is scripture. Let your women keep silent in the churches, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. There is no such law that states women are to be under obedience to men. What Paul is referring to is the punishment given to the woman in the garden. It states the husband will rule over the wife. The scripture that is used most often is 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 11 through 15. "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression." It's important to note the Apostle Paul states, "I suffer not." It did not say God suffers not. Therefore, it is Paul who does not allow a woman to teach or to usurp authority over a man, not God. Thankfully, Paul offers justification for this prohibition. Everything boils down to Adam and Eve. The first support Paul uses is Adam was formed first and then Eve. This is the creation order. Next, Adam was not deceived, but the woman Eve being deceived was in transgression. And last, we have the commandment to be under subjection. As we can see, all of Paul's prohibitions against women being over men are rooted in the story of Adam and Eve. What if I told you males and females were created together at the same time? Furthermore, what if I told you that since Adam was not deceived, according to Paul, neither was the female? I know that sounds like blasphemy. However, this truth has been sitting in plain sight since the Bible was compiled. Did you know that Adam is the name for both male and female? If you do not believe me, check your own Bible. This is the book of the generation of Adam. In the day that God created man, in the likeness of God made he him. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam, in the day when they were created. God created male and female and called their name Adam. When did the Lord name them Adam? He did it in the day they were created, back in Genesis chapter 1. Why is it that most people have never read these two verses? This text is not preached in the pulpit or taught in Bible study. The truth is hidden in plain sight. Based on what we just saw about Adam being the name for both male and female, how do Paul's arguments stand up? According to the Bible, Adam, which is the name for both the male and the female, they were created together. Next, Adam was not deceived, but it was the woman. This does not apply to females since Adam represents both sexes. Last, God punishes the woman. Again, this does not apply to females because they are both called Adam. Paul's prohibition against women cannot stand up without proper support. Everything simply falls apart. Since the woman is not a literal female, none of the references to Eve apply to women. This means they are not cursed. They do not need to be in submission, and they are fully equal with men. This is how God created them in the beginning, and nothing has changed. Adam is never a proper name in the book of Genesis. It is a Hebrew term that means mankind or humankind. Today, we would simply say humans. We need to look at the story of Adam and Eve with fresh eyes. The Apostle Paul calls it a great mystery. So we need to understand the whole story, the real identity of the woman, Eve, and the true purpose of the garden narrative. To find out more, read The Problem with Adam and Eve. This book is indispensable to anyone who wants to know the truth. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel. And as always, be blessed.